Hey, all right, I'm trying to get this. I haven't done a live in a long time, and so I'm trying to get this little gorilla pod set up here. Hey, hope you're doing well. It's day 7,019 here in quarantine, Salt Lake City. Hope you're doing okay wherever you're at. Wanted to do this quick video for you today. We just did a workshop in the SaaS Accelerator, which is where I work one-on-one with founders to help grow their SaaS companies. And we do workshops every quarter. And one of the workshops we did last quarter was called the Dream Client Catcher. And it's our strategy for getting in touch with high-value customers and getting them to respond. And we had a lot of fun. It was really awesome. We had SaaS founders that in the group that have been emailing for months and not having any success, and finally started getting responses and demo calls scheduled. Really cool. I wanted to, and I'm going to kind of do this. I'm going to build out a process for you. I'm going to do multiple videos in this series. But there's probably like 12 or 15 different major parts to this process, but I wanted to start today with just mindset. I think one of the biggest takeaways from most that were in the workshop was the idea that the mindset is the thing that's keeping us from really getting and finding our ideal customers. Think about it. You have users that or customers that you'd love to work with, right? That'd be like dream clients for you. And here's the thing is your dream clients are not out there searching on Google looking for you most of the time. They are busy. They have problems that need to be solved. Think about it. Busy people, and you probably are the same way, will look for referrals. You'll go and find. You won't spend hours and hours and hours searching for the company that can best help you most of the time, right? Like you're busy trying to solve problems. You get a referral. You stumble onto something, and so one of the biggest mindset things that we get across in the Dream Client Catcher and the SaaS Accelerator is that your cold outreach, your number one goal, should be to get and start a conversation that moves them further into the buying cycle. So let me give you an example of what that doesn't look like. So most cold outreach, and I'll say also, most cold outreach is done for some reason. It's like email is the tool that everyone wants to use. And I get it. Email's free and it's easy. You got stuff like Mailshake and Reply, all these great tools that will let you do email. But trying to close your ideal customers, trying to find your ideal customers and best clients using just email, it's kind of like trying to fix a car with just a screwdriver. Like there are some things that will work. You can unscrew some bolts with a screwdriver, but there's no way you're going to fix a car with just a screwdriver. And that's what we try to do as founders sometimes, is pick cold email. We think cold email is the end all be all, and it's not. It's one part of a successful cold outreach campaigns. Even sometimes I default to cold email outreach because it's kind of like a sexy topic. But truth is, email is one tool. So having said that, the goal in any cold email outreach you have right now, and this is different. It's changed because in the past it wasn't like this, but because there's so many people vying for your ideal customers' attention, that Chris, yeah, I'm absolutely open to questions. Absolutely, yeah. I'm just hanging out with you guys today, so I can see your questions popping in. I'm gonna get to this point here, and then I'll answer your questions if I can remember them. So keep asking them if I don't get them. But starting a conversation is like the biggest mindset change that you can have when you're doing cold outreach. What most people do is they send out an email or a message with everything they can possibly think of about their offer, and they have 4 or 5 call to actions, and there's just so much going on in that email that a busy person has no time to read an email from someone that's 2 pages long, talking about all their company and all their clients that they've worked with, blah blah blah, especially from someone they don't know. And how many times have you gotten an email from someone, a cold email, and it's a long email, and you read off that starts off saying, "Hi, Joe, hope you're doing well today," and all this like fake stuff, like it's trying to be personal, but it's not personal. I mean, come on, guys, like we know when somebody knows who we are and when we don't. And so I just beat around all that stuff. Now that's a strategy you can use, is going after somebody and being really personal and saying, "Hey, I really loved your blog post about XYZ topic. I think it's a really interesting topic. I love how you position yourself." And then you can kind of go into your offer. But and people, I love that when people reach out to me and say, "Hey, I read your blog on this, and I think that was really fascinating, and I love it. I implemented it and it worked." I'm like, that gets my attention really, really well. But just the big mindset change that I want you to have is that your goal in the initial outreach is not to get as many different things out as possible to your customer and get them and do 7 different calls to action and push out your whole product. The goal is to just start a conversation. And how do you start a conversation with someone? There's lots of ways to do that, but think about it when you're at a networking event or in any type of event at all. You ask the person and you start off with smaller questions, right? And the email's different. Email's different because you are coming up to someone who you have no idea, they don't know who you are, and you've done your research on them and you can help them. But what we do is we say, thanks, Marissa. Marissa's my assistant. Thanks. What we do is we just say, "Hey, Joe." We don't beat around the bush. I just say, "Joe dash, hey, I noticed you have a retail store or brick and mortar store or whatever. I know you have you're in the B2B SaaS space, or you have a company that solves this problem. We help whoever your customer is, the more specific, the better. We help web developers launch their products with 0 vulnerabilities. Not sure if this is something that you need right now, but if it is, would it make sense to chat? Period. And then your name. Sometimes we don't even put CEO of whatever company. We can. Sometimes we'll do, it depends on the responses that we'll get. If we get people that are like, "Hey, who are you? Like, why are you emailing me?" Sometimes we'll put the name of the person and their CEO and their title and the company. But the goal is to just get them to start a conversation. And this has worked phenomenally well. And notice in the email, we don't say anything about the tool. We don't say that we have a CRM or we have a booking tool or whatever it might be. We just say, "We solve this problem. It looks like we might be able to solve it for you. Would it make sense to chat?" And that's it. It's 2 sentences long. 2 sentences. You talk like a person. You don't talk like a robot or like you have to fit everything into one email. You ask a simple yes or no question and you get to the point. Imagine if you got an email from like Russell, from Charles Branson, or any one of these people who have very, very limited time. They're not going to send you, Elon Musk is not going to send you a 7-page email talking about his product. Like, he'll say, "Hey, Elon here. I looked at your product. We should chat. Give me a call." And that's what works right now. And so talk like a person, ask a simple yes or no question, get to the point. Your whole goal is to start a conversation. So hopefully that was helpful. I'm here right now. Just if you got some questions, let's do it. Chris says, I'm getting hit constantly by Nick from Sales Process. Is that Nick Kosiman? From Sales Process IO. What do you think about those guys? Do you compete with them, or how your service is different? Chris, I honestly don't know much about Nick. I've seen some of his ads. I've never worked with him. I don't like saying anything about anyone that I haven't worked with specifically. I've heard things about him. I'm not going to share what those are because I don't want to spread any rumors or anything. I just don't know. And as far as a competitor, I don't think we're a competitor. My accelerator is more of just focusing on one specific thing. It's actually like working with coaches every week to help grow their businesses, masterminds, stuff like that. Chris, I'd happy to chat with you about that. Can I send you a private message if that's all right? Oh man, I'm going to mess this name up. Loic. I know Rockefeller. I can say that. So would you start a conversation directly by saying that your solution solves the target problems without trying to arouse curiosity? So that's a great question. And that's part of, in the Dream Client Catcher process, that is one of the things is curiosity. Curiosity is a big thing. We say, and I'm getting ahead of myself here, but when we pitch our message, we usually pitch what I call as a NED. Pitch a NED, a new, exciting, and different offer. And that arouses curiosity. So we'll say, hey, we've figured out a way to do X, Y, Z. We help, or we work with, typically the phrase is, we work with whatever business you're trying to focus on is. We get really focused too. So we say we help law firms with more than 500 employees, right? We get really specific. We figured out a way to do XYZ without the thing that they hate. And that does arouse some curiosity. Now you do want, you want to have a good medium with curiosity and like saying, hey, there's a point at which curiosity no longer is effective. It's just kind of annoying. So if you can be specific about the problem that you solve and who you solve it for, and there's a couple of different phrases. One of them is, we figured out how to accomplish this result. Would it make sense to chat? Another phrase that we use is, we help XYZ do this without, or we help XYZ customer get result even if they don't have, or even if something like a qualifier, in this case, like even if they don't have a PR manager, or even if they don't have the budget to hire a full team. So yeah, that's and I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna start doing more of these lives in going each of these process. But the point today is just start a conversation with someone. Here's what I want you to do. You want a challenge that'll just totally complete and change your business for the next 7 days. Pick 10 people that you've always wanted to reach out to, that you can solve a problem for. Okay, so so what we do is we only reach out to people in this Dream Client Catcher process. We only reach out to people we know we can help. So we have qualifiers, like they have to have a certain amount of employees, or they have to be over a certain amount of revenue, or they have to not be using this specific tool, or they have to be using this specific tool, because that's how we can help them. And then we say, and then what I want you to do is reach out to each person. Facebook, just do it. Just do 3 touch points: LinkedIn, email, and Facebook. Say, hey, hey, Joe, not sure if this is something that you need, but we help. Get really specific with who you help. We help law firms with over 500 employees, or web developer firms launching more than 5 apps a month. Do XYZ. What is the result? Would it make sense for us to chat? That's it. If you guys did that, I think you would see I absolutely guarantee that you will see a huge change in the amount of responses that you get. Now, with the Dream Client Catcher, we automate. all this stuff. And we automate the LinkedIn messages. We do direct mail. Who in SaaS is doing direct mail right now, right? So this cuts through the clutter immediately. And we use a cool app called Felt to write out handwritten messages, and they're like not cardboard, but they're like the fancy. Not fancy. They're not fancy. They look like real letters. Like there's no way in the world you would not open a letter from Felt. And we just say, hey, just wanted to check in to see if you still need help with blah blah blah. Check your email for a message from me. So, so that's what we do. And I would love for you to take that on. If I could sit down with you, over coffee, and you said, hey, what is, if I need to get clients, what is the one thing that I can do right now to get more clients? I would say go after your high value clients and give them that message. So cool. Jesse, no links in the email. Nope. Not even a link to your product. Sometimes we put the product name in there, but no links, because that leads them away from what we want them to do. Kamel, could you share your email outreach template? I just kind of did. That was the main email template. Yeah. And I'm going to put together all this stuff in like a mind map. I'm thinking about selling it for like $7. And so if you'd like a copy of, like, I'll put some of the templates in there and the cadences and all this stuff that I'm talking about, all these points, all these resources. If you'd like it, you can just DM me. I don't have it yet. But if you'd like it, I'm happy to send it to you. Rick, hey Rick, I was gonna reach out to you a little bit later. Yeah, thanks Chris, too kind, I really appreciate it. So many cool people on right now. Jesse, you're welcome. Kamel, yeah, you're welcome, dude. So that's all I got for you today. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about, here, let me open up my mind map. I'm looking at my mind map right now to see this. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about what I think is the biggest difference that you can make in your positioning, that will make you increase the perceived value of your product and get anybody to respond to you. And it's called specificity, being specific. I have on my mind map here, specific. And I'm going to tell you about that tomorrow, because that is going to completely change the way that you think about how to position your SaaS product, and also how to talk about your product to people, and how to cut through the clutter that people have when hearing from so many different tools. So cool. Yeah, Fede, I have a question. What are you doing today for your birthday? I don't even know. I just love working so much that I just got up this morning. I wrote in my journal about the stuff I wanted to do today. I think my wife has something planned later. She said block 2 to 4 out, so I don't know what's going to happen from 2 to 4. She gave me this shirt today, so which is a cool shirt. I don't know if you guys can see this, but if it was up to me, guys, I would just have some ice cream and cake tonight, and then I would just be working, because I've got so many cool things that I'm working on right now, and I love what I do. So anyways, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Love you all. Hang in there. Things are going to get better. Thanks, Stefan. Appreciate it. Things are going to get better. We'll get through this. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. So cool. And I'll be around. If you have any comments, questions, I'm happy to pop in the chat here and help you answer some questions. So cool. Thanks, guys. See ya.